Hi everyone! Today I'd like to show you how I did the background for this card. I've had some requests to show you. Now first of all, I'll tell you this is not my technique. I learned it from Jennifer McGuire's blog, but I thought you might like to see it anyway. What's required to do this is a stamp, Versamark ink, white embossing powder, a heat gun, sponges for each of the colors you want to use for your background, and at least 2 or 3 colors of ink. Now I just happen to have this applicator. If you don't have them, you can cut your sponges, you can, however you like to sponge is what you can use. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to ink up your stamp. Now I'm going to use some different colors today just so we can see how it turns out. And then you're going to stamp it using the Versamark onto your watercolor paper. Now this has to be watercolor paper. It doesn't work if you use regular paper. Okay, then you're going to sprinkle it with the white embossing powder. And you're going to heat set it. Okay, now you know it's heat embossed when it kind of looks rubbery all over. Now what I forgot to tell you is you also need a spritzer of water. Okay, you're finished with the stamping, so you can put that away. Now you're going to take your sponges and your water, and you're going to take one color, whichever one you want. Now I'm using Teal, Pacific Point, and Pear Pizzazz. You can start with whichever color you want. I'm going to start with the lightest one this time. Ink up your stamp really, or your sponge really well. Now, you're going to spritz some water onto some plastic or a craft sheet, whatever it is you work on, and get it all wet and gooey. Now when it's all really smushy, all you're going to do is stamp. Now you can go over it if you want, if you don't like the color, but you don't have to. Now this is going to look really ugly at first, but just keep going. You're going to be so surprised. Oh, my spritzer's getting low water. There we go. And randomly stamp with one of your colors. You'll probably have to ink up in between every stamping, and don't forget to get it good and wet between every stamping. Now if you don't have enough on, ink it up again. And stamp. You can go over it as many times as you want, but you really only have to do it once. Okay, after you've done a few with one color, or one, however you want to do it, this is your design, so randomly do them. Switch to another color. Now I'm going to use the teal, and the same thing. Ink it up good. Now don't put it in the green. I didn't bring a towel, so I'm using my fingers, but that's probably not the way you should do it. Get this all good and wet, and stamp. Like I say, you'll probably only get one stamping before you have to ink it up again, because you really do want this full of ink. And make sure there's enough water as well. Now you can also do this with shimmer mist if you want. It'll just give a little bit different effect. See, I told you it's going to look ugly at first. Now we're going to switch colors again. Whoops, I hope you're not like me and pulling off little bits of your sponge. And now I'm going to use my darkest color, which this time is Pacific Point. Oh, and okay, a little bit of water to make a puddle. Ink up your sponge very well. You want a lot of ink in it. Get it in your muck and then stamp. Remember, ink up between every time. Switch colors again if you want. That's what I'm doing. We're going to switch again. I'm going to go back to my first color, which is the green. There you go. I think I'm going to finish with the green. Make sure there's lots of water. I can't stress that enough. Oh, maybe we'll use one more of the dark blue. Now that's all the stamping you have to do. Now you can either let it air dry, or you can take your heat tool okay, when that's done drying, you need to find a cloth, and I didn't bring one, so good old t-shirt. Just rub off the excess ink from your image. And there you have it. A quick and simple background that is a little bit different. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you again.